Hi there. Okay, so today let's talk about why your money plans backfire and how we can fix it. Getting back on your feet after a financial setback isn't easy, especially when you're looking at a fresh new year ahead, which is where we're at. This show will drop the first week of January, and we're starting a new year. So let's get it started off on a good track. I want to share something with you that's pretty simple, actually, but it goes against most of what we've been taught about making changes in our lives. Most of us try to power through a change. We white knuckle it with pure willpower. When it comes to new money plans, we make these strict budgets, we set rigid goals, and then, well, we all know what happens, how that usually ends up. Hi, I'm Stephanie, her money coach, and welcome back. If this is your first visit to Her Money Mindset Show, welcome, and we're thrilled that you're here. Okay, so I hate to sound harsh, but everything you think you know about change is probably wrong. Take a second and think about how you normally make a change in your life. For most of us, we just start doing it. We just jump right in. That's definitely true for me. And I know on the show, I talk a lot about how important it is to take action. And it truly, truly is. But in this case, when you're making a big change or big changes come upon you, jumping into action is not the first thing you should do. Because think about it this way. Imagine it's a new year and you want to start running. So tomorrow, chances are you just put on your shoes, go outside, and you would run. And you don't feel anything new about running. Like you didn't really want to run before, but you think you should. And so your feelings about it haven't changed. You just went out there and did it, and you still feel kind of about it. You just went and did it. The reality is, this is a very hard way to make a sustainable change because, according to the science, change over time is reliant heavily on positive emotions. Emotion starts from knowledge. So here's how it actually works. When you learn something new, let's say about money or anything else, your brain doesn't just file away the information. It creates an emotional response to that information. Think of it like when you understand a concept like compound interest and how that works, you kind of start to feel hopeful. Like, okay, wait, my money is going to be invested and then interest will just compound on that over time. And you start thinking, okay, there's an opportunity here, and you feel something, and that feeling might be hopeful, let's say. Or you learn some new saving strategy. Like I like a saving strategy of automating all your savings. So you automate all your bills, and that includes your saving every month. And when you learn this, you feel empowered. And it's that feeling of empowered where you think, okay, I got new information about how I could work a saving strategy. And that new information is making me feel like I can have power over my saving decisions. So do you get the knowledge first? So this isn't some like woo-woo manifesting type thing. It's truly brain science. When you combine knowledge and positive emotion, your brain releases the chemicals of dopamine and serotonin. These are the happy hormones. Actually, they help rewire neural pathways, which make it easier for this change to last, which is the key. There is a easier, more gentler, more effective way to deal with change than white knuckling it with willpower. And like we've been talking about, it starts with how you want to feel. So if you're thinking about your money plan, how do you want to feel about it? And not just what do you want to do, but how you want to feel. Then think about this. Instead of harsh self-talk when things go off track, instead of forcing yourself to just stick to a budget, instead of beating yourself up over past decisions, if you approached this process or this money plan like a learning process, just like a computer learning chess, for example, each move, even the not good moves, are just data points and just information to help that computer get better at playing chess. The secret is that you cannot fail. The only way to fail at anything is by stop showing up, by stop trying. So even a setback is actually just teaching you something and giving you more information and teaching you something about your relationship with money. And here's the best part. You don't have to figure this out overnight. The process is literally just taking small steps consistently. But you have to take these steps with self-compassion rather than that critical voice in your head. And if you do take small steps consistently from a place of self-compassion, you will get there. Let's dive into this harsh self-talk because I think it's pervasive. It is in my head, I know, and I'm sure it is in yours too, especially if you've had any kind of money setback. So let me ask you, does this voice in your head get very harsh and loud when there's a money issue? Let's say you slip up your spending goals, you're up late at night, you're looking at your credit card statement from the holidays, it's been a rough day, and you just jump into your phone and start doing some retail therapy. And there it all goes. As you're swiping, your mind is saying to yourself, "You're such an idiot. You will never get your finances together." Does that sound familiar? But tell me this, if your best friend called you at 2 a.m., devastated, beating herself up about going on a shopping spree, you would be a cheerleader for her. You would be, "Hey, this is just one day. Tomorrow's a fresh start. You're doing better than you think." And you would talk to that person in a completely different way than you're talking to yourself with this harsh self-talk. So why are we so good at lifting others up, but treat ourselves like we're on trial? Now, I know what you're thinking because I think this way too. Sometimes I think if I'm not tough on myself, I'll just keep making the same mistake. I need that inner drill sergeant to keep me on track. But research shows the exact opposite, that this harsh self-talk is like driving with your parking brake on. It's actually holding you back from any real change. And I'm coming back to self-compassion because many of us think that self-compassion is a weakness, but really it's more of your superpower. It's your secret weapon. Next time someone shares their money struggle with you, listen actively, offer genuine encouragement and not judgment, and notice how natural it feels to support others. Now, this is likely not going to be hard for you because you probably do this in your life, but what you're going to start to do by being aware of it and practicing it is that just like magic, you're going to start to turn that same kindness toward yourself. Every time you help someone else see their worth beyond their wallet, you're actually teaching yourself the same lesson. It's like compound interest for your self-compassion. Okay, the next topic that people get wrong with change is this idea of willpower. Do you wonder why willpower and forcing yourself to just stick to the budget never works? Let me paint a picture to try to describe it. You sit down, you create this perfect budget, and you promise yourself, "This time I'm going to skip to it no matter what." And you're pumped, you're ready. You've got all the willpower on your side. Then life happens. A bill you didn't expect, a divorce, something that even if it's just a stress at work, maybe it's not related to money, your kids need new shoes again, and you're just exhausted. You're exhausted physically and mentally. Suddenly, that ironclad willpower that we had a few minutes ago starts feeling more like melted butter. And when you finally break, the shame spiral kicks in. Here's the thing that nobody tells you about willpower. It's like a muscle and it gets tired. And just like you can't do bicep curls 24/7, you can't rely on your willpower forever. Think about it. When you're well rested, you're eating right, your willpower is your bestie. But when you're stressed or you're tired, it just waves goodbye. And during emotional moments, it's basically useless. So the truth is, every time you force yourself to just stick to it, whatever it is, you actually are creating this pressure cooker of emotions. And what happens? It blows. That's why people who white knuckle their way through budgets often end up on a massive spending spree. It's not because they're weak, it's because they're human. So the solution is stop treating your budget or your money plan like a straitjacket. Instead, think of it as just this flexible framework that works with your life, not against it. You're just trying things on like you would a new piece of clothing. It's not set in stone, and you own it, so you can change it whenever you want. It's just the way you're going to think about it, instead of being restrictive, is flexible, and that's going to change how you feel about it. And then the third point we talked about as far as dealing with change and why your money plan might blow up is because you're stuck in the past. You're stuck in the past, beating yourself up over past decisions. And believe me, I know this one firsthand. I felt this way after my divorce, constant self-beatings over things and decisions that happened at that time. I thought this when I walked away from my business 2 years ago, constant self-beatings over those decisions. There's nowhere in the book of change that it says change or life itself is going to be smooth sailing. We humans change, and we think it's just going to be smooth sailing. And then when something goes wrong, we start to think we're doing it wrong or we're on the wrong track. But it's actually when things go wrong that we learn how to do them right. You have heard of the famous Stoic thought, the obstacle is the way. It's really the struggle and the difficulty that are the way to change. That's how we learn to live the way we want to, by failing and learning. Instead of looking back at our past decisions with regret or guilt, we need to look at it from a different lens. There is nothing that you or I have done that has been a failure. It's all just data points. It's all just learning. And it's all brought you right here, right now. Every time you've tried to change or question your relationship with money, every time you become curious about change, every one of those things is just a stepping stone in your journey on your path. It's all just been a road you're traveling. That's it, just a path. I don't know about you, but especially when I was going through all of the trauma of walking away from my business and losing all that money and having to sell my house, I would literally wake up at 3 a.m., almost like an alarm clock, with deep anxiety in my body. Deep, deep anxiety. My stomach would be churning, my chest felt heavy, and I was ruminating over past decisions, past things. But the truth is, beating myself up about those past decisions is like driving your car staring in the rearview mirror. That is not going to work. It's actually dangerous. And part of me was thinking, if I don't keep feeling bad about these mistakes, how will I ever learn from them? Kind of like I needed to be punished, is how I felt. So I kept thinking these critical thoughts about myself because I felt like I deserved it for making a mistake. But if I think about it differently, of it being like data points, there's nothing more and nothing less. It's just a data point. It's like when I calculate my destination into my GPS in my car and I'm going down the path and then a road is closed, that's just information. It's not bad or good, and the GPS automatically reroutes me to a different way. So each different turn is just actually helping me find my way. Think about it this way. What if your credit card debt actually taught you about your stress spending triggers? If you looked at your credit card statement and you were curious, like what did I go over on this month? And you see, oh, that day I was really stressed, so I went to the mall. And you would start to learn something new, more information about your stress spending. And so this credit card statement and this credit card debt is giving you information. Another way for me to look at this messed up investment is it showed me the importance of due diligence. In this case, I did a ton of due diligence, but there's just always something you can learn. And it also taught me that sometimes things just don't work out. Sometimes things aren't what you thought they were going to be. And that's just a data point. So it's not about never making mistakes. Actually, it's the opposite of that. It's about keep showing up even after mistakes. And we don't have to be perfect, thankfully. It means opening those bills even when we're scared. It means learning just one more thing about money and how to have a money plan. It's about making small adjustments and tweaks based on what you learned. And then it's about getting back up when you slip. Because when you slip, and we all do, you just need to get back up and try something different. Remember, we talked a bit about the computer learning to play chess. It doesn't win by beating itself up over a lost game. It wins by using every game, win or lose, as information for the next move. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're exactly where you need to be, gathering the data points that will lead you to a strong financial plan that you can keep, that change you can make in your life that you can keep over time. So there you have it, my friend. Remember, real change isn't about perfection, willpower, or beating yourself up. It's about showing up with curiosity and compassion. It's as easy as that. And keep your eyes on how you want to feel, not just what you want to do. I hope you believe that your past money decisions are just stepping stones that led you right here. And from here, all you need to do is take one more step and keep going, and just keep going until you create the peaceful relationship with money that you've been dreaming of. Keep going until you feel confident in your choices. Keep going until you're actually where you want to be. Because the truth is, the only way to fail is to stop walking it together. You've got this, and more importantly, you're worth every step of this journey. If this episode helped you, please share it, subscribe, leave a rating and review, and it helps get the word out so we can help others in money setbacks find peace and momentum. Don't forget to visit hermoneycoach.com and subscribe to my free weekly newsletter for more tips. See you next time, and until then, remember, you have the power to change your financial future, and I'm here cheering you on every step of the way. And I'd love to know, what are your challenges when it comes to money change? Comment below.